The families of the Lily Mine victims are gathering for a prayer meeting today. It's been 6 years since the tragedy, and all attempts to recover the bodies of Solomon Nyirenda, Preeti Nkambule and Yvonne Mnisi have been unsuccessful. Moloko Moloto is in Barberton in Mpumalanga for us and joins us yet again. Moloko, it's just one wonders how the community of Barberton have taken this. 6 years later, they as well were quite traumatized by the disappearance of the three.
Very true, Mfundo. We earlier spoke to one of the family members, that is Mr. Mnisi, who is the father of Yvonne Mnisi, one of the three people who are still in that particular container that is yet to be retrieved. And he really was emotional about it. You kind of like get a sense that there's a denial that they possibly are no longer alive, because it's been 6 years since that particular container fell into that particular mine. And he's saying they can only find closure if once they are able to retrieve their remains and be able to bury them. And he was just explaining that the children of Yvonne, they, considering the fact that the one who is 17 years old today, back then he was just about 11, and the youngest back then was around 4. So they really find it very difficult to understand that their mother, they will never get to see her again. I'm just going to ask Mbuzeni to show you this. So essentially we are now inside a tent, Mfundo. This is where the family members and other community members are camping outside the mine. So they stay here because they want somebody from a position of authority to come and assist. I'm going to ask Mbuzeni to show you that particular poster there. These are the pictures of the three we are talking about. In this particular tent where the families are camping, they have been here, Mfundo, for the past 6 years. And this is their new home. You can see there are mattresses or the sponges, they leave here. This is more like home. But obviously, it doesn't look like a house. But this is where they live. And I'm going to ask Mbuzeni to show you this mothers here. The one that you are seeing here is the mother of Preeti Nkambule, and next to her is the mother of Solomon Nyirenda. As I said earlier, we spoke to the father of Yvonne Mnisi. I'm going to try and speak to them. Boma sanbonani, ngicela nje ningichazele ukuthi 6 years on abantwana benu abatholakali niphila kanjani?
Kubhlungu ene uma uthi uyacabanga ngale ndlela leyandvodza lengale eBloemfontein namuhla idlala ngathi ngalenye indlela. So ke iyaba nguye umqashwe webantwana bethu. Angisho abantwana bethu basuke bahamba bayofuna umsebenzi. Bebangade ukuthi manje na kutawugcina kuhambe kube nje. So ke seva buhlungu lapho asathi khona nakabutwa enkantolo ukuthi lokhu naloku kwente kanjani, wabese sokuyasho ukuthi lokhu kwenziwa sometimes ukuthi yena athi manje na uNkulunkulu lo wenda lokho wakwenda nini bekakuphi.
So Mfundo, in a nutshell, this is the mine owner, the owners of Vantage, who she said that the incident happened because it was the will of God. But okwamanje oyansiza nje ngemideni.
Akasithi.
uSolomon bekanabantwana baphila njani bona?
Bekasede umntwana.
Manje nilala la for 6 years. Ngoba kungani nihlala la?
Ngoba sihlale sikhethe kuhlala la ngoba silinze bantwana bethu.
You still hope niyathemba ukuthi bazo manity nimalindile, ingaba niyathemba ukuthi basaphila?
Yes, we believe in God.
Yeah, Mfundo, maybe let me now speak to the mother of Pretty Ngambule. Mama, impilo enjani nje 6 years on?
Ilukhuni baba. Ilukhuni nje kakhulu. Ngoba ngisho ebusuku kukhona kaleki kulaleka. Kokuthi nje behle ebuthongo abedli. Ngisho ukudla awukhoni ngisho ukudla uthi noma ungathi cabucabu uve sowusutha umoya. Ngoba Pretty Ngambule washiya luswane luna 5 months. Nyalo luswane seluna 6 years. Alumati makwabo. Umlumbi akakakhombisi ukuthi bekane luthando nalabantu abethu mabasebenza. Bebabahle ngemandla abo. Kepha namuhla ngoba sebahlangene nalenkinga akasangenelani nabo. Kokube yena bekane sihawu ngawumane wathi cha ke ngoba ngidi imali mina yekuvula. Lolotho ovula kamana ngiside ngitokhona ukuthi ngishaye ngumoya kulabantu abalabantu. Manje yena ukhombise ukuthi uyahati la kunalabantu abethu khona. Ngoba phela kusizulisa kangaka nje kusho kona ukuthi uyahati. Isihlaselwe abantu labashona kusho ukuthi seyihlilogile nyalo shisho lathi impahla yonke into emabhomu konke kwajika la kithi. Bukhombisa ukuthi lo mlumbi lo bese kathi ngcono basibulale kutophela lendzaba. Kani uNkulunkulu ume nathi. uNkulunkulu sisitile nanyalo usolo ume nathi. Labethu bantwana lapha lo mlumbi uthethe wathi bafile abakafi laba abantu. Babuya laba bantu laba. Wami umntana bekangena kungilesine ensambama emsebentini. Wafona yena wathi emaka ngathi wathi hayi man. Ngidawuthuma umntana ete lapho ngathi wo kulungile sisi. Wathi yena emaka ngathi wathi kodwa uma ngingashiya labantwana la kuwe ke ngathi ke mina baphila labadzala wathi cha ke ngisho ukuthi bonke naloswana ngathi udabe uyapho wathi cha ngisho ukuthi nje mina mabala kuwe batabe bakahle kani ngalo lesihlanu usho uyahamba ngilelo langa bathi emsebentini uyaphuma ekseni bathi sisibuyele emsebentini ngoba lolotho kunjinja akekho kwabe kuhamba kwakhe
akazange abuye
akazange aphinza abuye
manje man siyagcina njengoba nehlala la nezohlala la kuze kube nini
mabangabakhiphi labantwana sisukile sifuna baze basikhiphele labantwana lapha emgodini uma bangabakhiphi solo bangafuni ukubakhipha sitawufela le ethendeni ukuthi kunabo makele bafenzabeni bahlalele abantu ababo
siyabonga boma siyabonga Mfundo very difficult surely the message is clear. They are going to camp here until the container is retrieved. I just want to quickly take you outside because so that you can have an idea of this place. There are messages written all over here. So Vantage is the name of the company that was operating this particular. So some of the people stay in this shack Mfundo. And as you can see, this is outside. It's not in a community area. It's outside, just outside the gate of the mine. Vantage is the company that was operating this particular mine when that incident happened. And currently, as we speak today in the Supreme Court of Appeal, there is a matter wherein there's another company that wants to take over this particular mine, and the matter is before the courts. Obviously, we heard earlier from the Action SA representative who was saying that it would take about 250 million rand to retrieve that particular container. But just quickly, I want to ask Nhlanhla Mazibuko to say, you guys were members of AMCU. Where is AMCU in this?
Yes, I was elected by majority of the employees under the umbrella of AMCU. But to be fair to myself and everybody, South Africa and the world, I don't know where AMCU is.
Joseph Mathunjwa is the president. Are you in touch with him? Is he assisting?
The last time we engaged with the president of AMCU, it was on the 5th of February 2020, if I'm not mistaken, where he promised that he's pledging with his February salary to donate so that we retrieve the container. So there was no any promise that in 2 weeks' time we'll convene a meeting with the families because there were crises on that same day.
Let's then talk about the government. The premier at the time was David Mabuza. He did come here. You said he made promises. He is the deputy president now. What has happened? Have you heard from him?
We're making noise to the one who is owing, who is Vantage, our employer. We're making noise demanding our salaries. demanding our fellow colleagues. And then the then Premier Titi Mabuza, he came here and say we must leave the mine management alone. Him as being the Premier, he will deal with them. After that, when we follow up, we send communication, is nowhere to be found. Maybe you guys can assist us and find him and respond as to how far with that particular engagement with the mine management.
This mining company was employing people. How many people lost their jobs up to now?
It was over 1,000. Remember, we, especially as African, if I'm a breadwinner, maybe I cater for 9 upwards people. So thousands and thousands are suffering because of the closure of this mine.
All right, let me conclude with you, Togo Mashiane, the chairperson of Action SA here. You have had the Bom Mabale in the tent. They still believe their children are alive and they will still come back. And they are saying they will camp here until they are retrieved or they will die here. Somebody's going to accuse you of playing politics as Action SA, despite the fact that your leader, Herman Mashaba, has been spending his money to assist here.
This is not a political game. You can't play politics with people's lives, more especially as we have seen those old people there. This is not about politics, it's about human. I mean, Herman Mashaba started helping them before he became president of Action SA. So it was out of his heart, which I think all South Africans, more especially those in power, must have that heart. I don't know how to pray for them.
All right, thank you so much. And as I conclude, these are the people earlier who had joined in the prayer, and they have been here supporting these particular families who are camped here.